What are the non-obvious signs of a smart person? Nuance in their understanding of things. Yep. Smart people rarely make big absolute statements about anything. When someone is explaining a concept and they occasionally use hedging language like with some exceptions, or mostly true, or in general, that's a good sign. Something Reddit largely lacks. They acknowledge areas where they lack knowledge. Sort of the exact opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Never pretend to know something when you don't is something I always teach. Covers lying and ignorance. That's the problem with ignorance. Some people can't realize that they don't know everything. Talking to a dumb person will make you feel smart. Talking to a smart person will make you feel dumb. Talking to a very smart person will make you feel smart. If you are the smartest person in a room, you are in the wrong room. Edit. Think some people took this a bit literally. It's mostly a line to push people on in their career progression. Always be learning from others. Nice try, BuzzFeed. I found one carrot. Honestly, BuzzFeed would probably sort this thread to least popular or most downvotes to build their article, partially because their audience would absorb it more easily. They tend to be, at least in my experience, more open to criticism or being shown facts that change their opinions on things. I don't know if that really falls under smart or more of a wise trait. I'd say wise, but often those who are wise are smart, just not the other way around due to people being arrogant. Being able to acknowledge when they're wrong. This and also being able to admit, I don't know. The smartest people know how much they don't know. This isn't true. There are plenty of stubborn as mules smart people. Larger dendrites in the frontal and temporal lobes. You're a front lobe. Yep, that's pretty obvious. Edit. Thank you for the gold, wonderful Redditor. I seem to recall that intelligence is correlated with a higher density of dendritic spines. It's entirely possible that overall size of dendrites could be involved as well. But I'm too lazy to look it up, so I guess we'll never know. The problem with the world is that the intelligent people are full of doubts, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Charles Bukowski. That's actually a misquote of Bertrand Russell. The fundamental cause of trouble in the world today is that the stupid are cocksure while the intelligent are full of doubt. Admitting when they're wrong. Updating their opinions, beliefs when presented with proper evidence. The ability to see both sides of the coin rather than just one side. What about the third side? Never forget the third side. I think this is true. I also think highly intelligent people consider more outcomes, scenarios in just about every activity, and the ability to discount one side of the coin if their answer is ridiculous instead of defaulting to the middle. They won't argue with stupid people. Even if they know they're right, they won't do it. It's impossible to win against a stupid person. They're too stubborn and never have the self-awareness to know they're wrong. Edit. Probability is half of the people who upvoted this are stupid. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. Just let that sink in. If you're playing chess with a pigeon, it will lazz all over the board and think it's won. That's what it's like arguing with stupid people. That Reddit has not met a lot of smart people. Reddit has a lot of teenagers. And teenagers often think they know the answer to questions like this, even though their experience is limited. So a lot of these answers sound like a kid's version of what a smart person is. They realize not everyone is smart the same way. Your stupid hick neighbor might have dropped out of school in 8th grade. But he can drive your car once and tell you exactly what's wrong. Then fix it. That in school that had no empathy for anyone and showed no emotion made that sci-fi you thought would never be real. Yeah, she's dingy and her worldview is tiny. But she's the best teacher you've ever met and inspires tons of kids to go on and do great things with themselves. There's no one-size-fits-all answer here really. Edit. Wow. My first gold. Thanks guys. I'm glad so many people feel this. Edit again. This really got a lot of attention, so again. Thanks for all the awards and thoughtful comments. Whether you agree or not. I feel like I can't think of an answer for this one without immediately thinking of multiple contradictory examples. I've spent my entire adult life in academia, and there really isn't a unifying characteristic of all of the highly successful people I have met. I suppose if I were trying to get a sense of someone in an interview setting, I would look for evidence of active listening and ability to ask critical questions on the fly. That said, I know some pretty smart people who are perpetually distracted listeners. Pattern recognition. Part of the reason smart people throughout history are well known is because they discovered something new and figured out how to maximize its potential. Darwin was a guy who discovered a bunch of islands with slightly different animals. He then collected and analyzed that data to come up with a theory of evolution, which was largely correct. Einstein's theory of relativity was based off of his observation that physics acted on everything equally. He figured out that exceptions were because of the way high-speed objects interact with the universe's speed limit, the speed of light. He recognized these exceptions by gathering them and recognizing the pattern between them all, then created his theory of relativity based on that. I'd say that the faster and/or deeper a person can recognize patterns, the smarter they are. Don't get caught up in unnecessary arguments. I have found that this comes to a certain point, when another person is not able to process something and therefore stays with his opinion. After a few tries, the smart person just gives up. There is no use in trying to make someone understand something while they already have an educated opinion. They'll listen to the other's facts and points and take them into account when giving an objection. I do this, and then go down their list of facts and points, debunking each one with my own fact point. When they don't give in and insist on it, if I still can't see why they think they're right or if they really are wrong, I walk away, 'cause the conversation isn't going anywhere after doing this 4/5 times, and then manipulate by turning those facts against you. H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A-H-A! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! They know how to explain concepts on just about any level, tailoring that level to their intended audience, and without coming across as condescending in any way. This is the sign of a good teacher, not a smart person. They're not the same thing. I have had brilliant professors who were pioneers in their field, but couldn't explain anything for us. Sure, they were smart, but taking their classes sucked. A non-obvious sign, I would have to say, emotional intelligence. Most people picture a smart person being like the typical movies nerd that is really smart at everything except social interactions or flirting, but that's not the case. Really smart people can also pick up on social cues faster and better than regular people. Take Richard Feynman for example. He was really smart but was also very sociable. Don't forget about Einstein, allegedly a compulsive womanizer. They're happy to be wrong about something, and then will take the time to learn about the subject. The same will go for politics. Rather than just dismissing the other person's opinion, they'll take the time to understand it. Emo. This is just having a good attitude and willingness to learn. Way more important than being smart, by the way. But lots of dumb people do this and lots of smart people don't.